So we begin with The Guardian, Simon, and a rags-to-robes story that has turned rather sour.
Well, this is an amazing story, yes. So Baroness Mone, you will remember, is a member of the House of Lords, and she has a husband, and her husband is called Douglas Barrowman. And she is already known for lobbying pretty hard for government ministers for this company called PPE MedPro. But she claims all the time that she just lobbied on behalf of it and then went away, and everybody says actually it was a bit illegitimate. Now what The Guardian is saying they've discovered is that there's another company called LFI Diagnostics. The significance of this is that she and her husband have both distanced themselves from these two companies and said there's no private benefit. It is alleged now, The Guardian have got a document written by the guy who runs the private office of her husband.
Yeah. And
The Guardian is alleging that that document shows that, in fact, they personally benefited from the profits that came from these companies.
Which would be pretty disgraceful, wouldn't it?
Which it would, because, I mean, A, because she didn't declare anything. No. Secondly, just because of the way she behaved. But thirdly, because they keep on saying there's no link.
No, and now she has stood down, I believe, and is attempting to sort of use some parliamentary privilege, essentially, a sort of House of Lords.
That's right. You say, I won't vote, I won't do this, I won't do the next thing.
And
but
therefore
actually,
I don't have to answer questions.
Answer questions, exactly. No, I mean, it is pretty disgusting. The thing that you could also help me out with on the front page of The Guardian, though, at the bottom it says, plea to COP15.
Yeah.
I thought we just had COP27.
Yeah, that's going back a bit.
So what's happening there?
Is that the inner sanctum or something? I don't know.
I don't know. I really don't understand.
I've made a decision that I'm not going to talk about climate change because I think it's completely irrelevant. It's not important to me because I don't think it exists in a major way that we need to worry about it. We've got other problems, and I think that we're just playing into their hands by actually thinking it's a legitimate.
What do you think about the government having allowed a certain amount of corruption? It does seem as if the PPE scandal is rumbling on. It seems to me extraordinary that Johnson went over Partygate, which I'm afraid still think was quite trivial. But this kind of stuff, this really stinks to me.
Well, I think it totally stinks, obviously. But, I mean, they brought it on themselves. The Tories brought it on themselves by going into a full-blown panic over this pandemic, a panic, and here's The Guardian, who was promoting the panic full on, and of course people are going to take advantage. Of course they're going to be profiteers. It's like a war. They made it a wartime.
What is quite interesting about this is that the second company that they've now uncovered was registered for Companies House in February 2021.
Wow! So she took a bit of time to get into it.
Well, I mean, the point being is that the first one was a bit earlier. But my point being is that these companies it's not like they've had a tradition of testing and PPE. This couple, they invented these companies. And the argument is they're shell companies within the house.
Didn't she? I mean, what her background? There are various diet pills, cryptocurrency. I mean, the usual
usual fake stuff.
Exactly.
Who hasn't had problems breathing into a bra?
Well, I suppose. Well, maybe she thought the shape of that actually PPE mask.
There's a certain prophylactic sort of quality to it. I
we'll
suppose.
Do that.
Stops things leaking.
I know not.
It's calming. It's very calming.
But Lewis, take us on to the Times front